Hi everyone and welcome back to Kitchen Kolony, and today I'll be making rock loaf. Yes, rock loaf, rock bun, rock drops, rock cake, whatever you call it. I'm going to make it into a loaf and I'll be adding ripe bananas. Now it's still the same texture with the flakiness on top, and it's very moist and tender in the middle. Now follow me as I make this. Guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be making a rock cake or a rock loaf. Normally we'd use them as rock drops, which we call rock bun back home, but we're going to make it in a loaf this time. Now this recipe calls for 5.5 ounces of sugar, but because I'll be using soaked fruits, I'll be using 3 ounces. Pre-soaked fruits can be very sweet, especially glazed cherries, and the raisins and other fruits that are soaked in wine can be extremely sweet too. Now the recipe calls for 2 medium eggs and 1/4 cup of milk, but I'm replacing one of the egg and the milk for 2 ripe bananas. You also need 4 level teaspoons of baking powder, a tablespoon of vanilla extract, a teaspoon of nutmeg, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. We need 4 cups of plain flour. We need 200 grams of fat, but I'll be using both coconut oil for the taste and some olive oil spread. Each time you measure your cup of flour, add 1 level teaspoon of baking powder. Now we're going to need 4 cups of flour and 4 level teaspoons of baking powder, and sieve them together. To our flour, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and a teaspoon of nutmeg. Mix to distribute the spices. Now I'm going to add about 3 ounces of the coconut oil. It was frozen, and I add about 3 ounces, and then I'm going to add 3 ounces of the butter or the olive oil spread. Now the reason for freezing the coconut oil is because I want it similar to the consistency of the margarine, so that when we rub it into the flour, we get that breadcrumbs consistency. Now I've decided to use a little over 6 ounces actually. Now add the fat to the flour and use a fork to, blend it in. But for best results, use your fingers because you want to get that consistency of breadcrumbs. So you rub it between your fingers, and that also allows the coconut oil to melt. You may ask, why coconut oil? I wanted that coconut flavor and I didn't have any coconut to add to it. After that is done, crush your bananas. I'm coarsely crushing the bananas because I don't mind seeing the banana pieces in my rock bun or my rock loaf. I'm adding my 2 tablespoons of vanilla flavor right here. Now it's time to preheat the oven at 180 degrees Celsius and then grease my tin and also flour to prevent sticking. At this time, I'm going to beat my egg and then add it to the banana and vanilla mixture. Then to it, I'm adding a little lime juice or lemon juice. The lime or lemon juice will eliminate any rawness from the egg. Now to my flour, you see the texture breadcrumby, I add my sugar and then I add my fruits. Now we just blend everything and then we are going to add our banana mixture. Now remember, we're not using milk, so we're going to use the banana because the banana is substituting the milk. Now we're going to mix well. Now we're going to mix until it forms like a cookie dough. But if your mix is still too dry, add a tablespoon of water. But this is what we're looking for, a cookie dough look. Now we're going to spoon our mixture in our baking pan and then we are going to put it in the oven to bake for 35 minutes. Now you could use this mixture and make individual cakes or buns, but I've chosen to make it into a loaf. Now we're going to first allow it to bake for 20 minutes, then we take it out and test to see how moist inside is or if it's still doughy. Then we're going to put it back for another 15 minutes, depending on your oven. You test, because when I first test, you could see how moist the stick was. So I put it back for another 15 minutes. Now, after testing, this is what you want to see on the stick. Because I add the banana to it, you'll see a little moisture, but it continues to bake after you take it out because the pan is still hot. So, after cooling, I've decided to cut. If you notice, it's still crunchy on the outside, and still have that interior moist and dry. In and out crunchy, still have that same texture as the rock bun. But in this case, it's a loaf. Now, you may slice it and you may butter it, you may eat it with cheese, whatever you like. Now there you have it, guys. We don't have to stick to the norm. We can be very creative in our own kitchen. Now if you've liked what I've just done, please remember to share my videos, give me a thumbs up, and even leave a comment. And if you have not yet subscribed, please remember to subscribe, because I'll be making more videos for you to watch. Thank you for watching again. Bye.